Hey everybody, I want to welcome you to this week's Business Insights with Matt Milia. And I'm super excited because it's been a long time coming that I wanted to interview Stacey, who's got some really big news and some great things that she's doing in the title industry. But before we get into that, first, let me go ahead and cue my intro. Welcome to Business Insights with Matt Milia. I'm your host, Matt Milia, and in this podcast, we'll talk about the real, raw, uncut business success secrets you won't find anywhere else. Follow my journey from entry level to CEO. We discuss real actionable items you can plug into your business right away. To subscribe to our weekly top tips, you can go to www.mattpodcast.com and join our community of elite high-level performers. And if you're interested in our inside sales company, you can go to www.appointmentstoday.com to jump on a free strategy call. And now, stay tuned for our podcast. All right. Hey, Stacey, how's it going?
I love that. I'm great. How are you, Matt?
Thank you for that, and I am great as well. Thank you. I'm super excited to have you on. It's been such a long time coming, and I've wanted to interview you. And now you've got some really big news about the expansion of your company. Before we go into that, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself?
My name is Stacey Maczulis. I work with Ohio Real Title out of Cleveland. I've been with them for 10 years now, actually this year, which is crazy. And
Nice.
then also now Venture Title Services. So I'm excited and it's a good opportunity. And, I love surfing. I love being on the water. I love the sunshine. So, this news is good. It's exciting for me.
So now you're at your Venture Title, which is still also part of Ohio Real, correct? Venture Title
Yes.
Services,
Yes.
and now Naples, which is awesome.
Mhm.
What Out of curiosity, what made you guys decide to go the West Coast instead of the East Coast? I'm just curious.
I think it was just more, where the market is. I mean, obviously, all of South Florida is great.
Oh
But
yeah,
I think when we really sat down and planned it out, you look at kind of like the geography and demographics and all that, it just made sense that this is like where we're at. And our office is in a prime location and we went off the ground running. I mean, ever since we come down here, we've closed deals and it's been great. So, it's a good one.
nice.
Yeah.
Average sales price is probably quite a big difference between Ohio and Naples. I mean, Naples is a pretty high end area. Have you noticed kind of a big difference in just the overall, maybe not necessarily, I mean, volume, of course, you guys have been around in Ohio forever, so I'm sure volume you guys are killing it, but average sales price, I would assume you probably see is a pretty big difference.
Yeah, I think as a whole in this area, I can't say just Naples itself. I think it's like around 700 grand and up
Yeah.
is their average. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're building more and more around here too. So it's cool to see the growth. And I mean, yeah, relative to Cleveland, price point's a little different, but yeah, it's awesome down here.
It's awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, I think 3 hours north of you, so we're up in
Yeah.
Safety Harbor. So, I mean, yeah, obviously love it here as well. As far as getting into some of the things that you were doing in Cleveland, one of the big things that you did was Boss Babes, which was, well, I'm not going to define it. I'll have you define it. What is Boss Babes, and what was it that inspired you to start something like that?
I've always been really big on woman empowerment. So for our industry, and this goes really with Cleveland, and I would love to, just for the record, to start one in Florida. So that could be coming. So we might have another podcast at some point. But, my friend, Sue Sassville and I, she's a realtor. I'm, in title. But we don't really look at it like that. Like I almost considered myself when I started that group as a realtor, only because it was really realtor based.
Hmm.
And everybody's doing transactions together. And I always say that you want to play nice in the sandbox. And also, it's good to put faces with names, right? So it was really cool when we started having these big events and retreats that one realtor would be like, "Oh my God, you're so and so. We just had a deal together," and they'd never met in person because, as you know, in this business, you can do a lot remote. And so maybe you've never seen that person face to face. So we brought a lot of women together in that area. Now some of those women hang out outside of work. It's just really cool to see, and everybody kind of just lifts each other up, and it's just, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. So, and it's growing. We've got a lot of people that are still coming. And like I said, I mean, we talked about maybe even opening it outside of real estate at some point, and just women in business in general, but we started small and then we kept growing and growing. And now it's been great up there. And like I said, I'd hope to maybe do something down in Florida at some point too.
I love that. And Florida, and it's funny because I got to tell you, I mean, I miss all of and maybe I'm spoiled because we had, Al up there who would fly in like, John Sheplack or Coach Bird or Jay Kinder. They'd have all these events. And it's funny because I was talking to Al about this recently. I feel like I was spoiled because being down here, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it. It's amazing. The weather's great. There are some great meetings and there's some great happenings and events, but it seems like in a lot of cases you have a very similar ecosystem, and a lot of those guys that really help educate and bring in so much value, it's missing in at least where I'm at, and that's where I think that you could really add some massive value. And especially if it is outside of the real estate industry, or if it's, a mix of all just women in business, women in entrepreneurship. When you guys were doing these events, were there some like educational spotlights and things like that? Or what was it that you guys were, or was it more just kind of team building? What was the focus?
For Boss Babes,
Mm-hmm.
it was more just, introductions, meet and greets, getting together, doing like happy hours. We did a retreat. I would say it was the summer before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We rented this big house in Put in Bay, and we had, I think it was 50 women come, and we had gift bags, and we had a whole itinerary. We did team building, we did motivational things, we did a lot of stuff, and it got emotional. I mean, it was a great bonding experience with these ladies. And so I would like to see more of that. And like I said, even outside of real estate, just in business. And again, I mean, that was different being Boss Babes, but I mean, I would be fine with at some point it being open to everybody, men and women, and whoever wants to be a part of it. And the team building thing really is essential. I mean, you're working with people day in and day out, to get these deals done, and it takes a village. And it's, why not work together? They always say work smarter, not harder, right? And I think that really came to fruition when we started that group. We really got to see it firsthand. And so, yeah, I'd love to keep it going and do more.
I love that. And the reason why I ask is because, so the whole premise, the basis behind my podcast and what we do, it's business insights, giving people help to level up, to get to that next level in business. One of the biggest challenges that that I have found is that a lot of groups, it's about, how do I say this? It's more about the happy hour and less about that camaraderie in that group and being able to work together. And yes, I mean, of course, people that you break bread with, that you drink with, that you hang out with and enjoy each other's company, you learn about each other, you grow, and you can then, of course, leverage each other's knowledge, network for business and for helping each other just get to that next level. So, I mean, I absolutely love that. I think there definitely needs to be more of that. And yeah, I would love to see you put something together down here, because I mean, it is, in my opinion, it's needed. A lot of these groups are amazing. It's just having that having that different perspective coming from a different area.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really amazing. As far as title goes, I mean, any changes, challenges, bumps in the road that you've seen since rates and things have changed?
You know, title's funny because I would say as far as transactions coming in that we're closing,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's a huge drop off. I mean, of course, whenever the market takes a little shift or inventory obviously stays on the market a little bit longer, or it's low, or however, I mean, yeah, that does make a difference. But I mean, we're still going strong. We're still successfully closing thousands of transactions and looking forward to more. Our company, we're like a well-oiled machine at this point. I mean, we really got our process and systems down. And that's why, to be honest, I felt so comfortable making the move to come down here and do that all over again down here. I think it's important, and I think it's great for the industry to have a partner or an affiliate that can get that done for you. And since we have so much experience in it, I just think it's going to be an easy transition for some people down here as well. So
I love that.
yeah.
How are you going about meeting new agents? Are you just sort of going to people's offices, or how are you doing that to kind of expand the Florida network?
So, that's funny you say that, because back when I started 10 years ago in Ohio, everybody was in the offices, right? I mean, it was like you
Right.
walked in and you got to see everybody. I think with time, especially obviously after COVID, but even before that, I started seeing, you know, realtors kind of know how to run their businesses from home, or, they don't always go into the office. Sometimes they go to a coffee shop, or they just, however they want to do it. I mean, from here, they're probably running it from the beach. I mean, who
Right.
knows, right?
Right.
But I think so for me, events, obviously networking is huge. I actually have a Real Producers event here tomorrow night. Same
Nice.
same company is up there, different, rep and obviously people. So I'm looking forward to that, meeting some people that way. I do have a lot of referrals because Ohio and Cleveland and well, I should say Ohio in general and Florida go hand in hand. I mean, there's a lot of agents that have their dual license.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people that just know people down here, or family members, or yada yada yada. So I'm working off of that, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to yeah, I will pop in offices too, for sure. I just got down here a little bit ago, so I'm starting that right now. We're starting to ramp up and get things going. So yeah.
I love it. Well, for everyone that's watching, by the way, if you're looking for an amazing title company, or looking for someone who truly cares about their people, what they do, and the brand and what they represent, definitely check out Stacey and Venture Title Services, venturetitleservices.com, which is also Ohio Real Title, but we talked about that beforehand. Really doesn't work down here calling it
Right.
Ohio Real. So
Yeah.
was Florida Real Title taken? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I don't know what the name came about. That really had nothing to do with me. I kind of like it just because of
Oh
our
yeah,
venture that we have up north with the business affiliation and all that good stuff. But yeah, so Ohio Real Title if you're in the Ohio area, and Venture Title Services if you're in Florida.
I
Happy to
love
help.
it.
Yeah.
Well, so as far as for you being in title, how long you've been in title for 10 years?
10 years now. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Were you in the finance space before that, or were you not in that space at all yet?
I wasn't. The only other area that was real estate related was I worked for a real estate law firm, and I also
Okay.
did take my real estate classes to become an agent, but I never got my license because I went to the title side, and obviously conflict of interest, you can't do both. So I
Right.
chose title over it, but it's been fun ever since. I
That's
wouldn't change
awesome.
it. I love it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so very much for jumping on. Is there anything else that you wanted to add in before we close things out?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you for having me.
Oh, of
I've
course.
worked with you. I have known you and Stephanie for years, and we love working with you guys, and we'll stay in touch. And anything that we can do to help, and then anybody that's watching, anything I can do to help, I'm here for you, 24/7. So.
And if you ever want to expand into Tampa, we're happy to
Mhm.
help as well. Just
Yeah,
throwing that out.
we can close in Tampa. We do a ton of remote closings. So, we
Love it.
always have our beautiful office that you can come, but we do a lot of remote even in Florida. So, and it's the same way in Ohio. So,
Oh
we're
yeah.
happy.
So you guys were doing stuff in like Dayton and Cincy and all of that too. You'd have that as well.
We do. Yeah, we can get remote notaries anywhere. We can close anywhere. And we can also send the documents, DocuSign or however. So we make it
Nice.
easy, and we don't charge extra for that, which is huge. So we try to help
Oh yeah.
with the cost because, it can get up there. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Stacey, again, thank you so much for coming on, and for everyone who's watching, see you same time, same channel next week. Thanks again, Stacey. See ya.
Thank you so much.